Welcome back, my friends. This is The Bunker, and I'm your host, Jason. And let's get into the portfolio. We have a lot of changes. I haven't talked to y'all for about a week. Sorry about that, but let's look over the portfolio. It has been a wild ride in the markets, has it not? This last 7 days have been up and down. A lot of changes, and my account is definitely feeling it. My I was up about $1,200 for the year until we went through this cycle, and most of that has gotten absorbed. You can see right here by Tilray that 400. This goes to show you one key point. When you step out of your strategy, this is the kind of stuff that happens. You know your strategy, you trade your strategy, you've been successful with your strategy, and then you get on a wild hair and do a hear a news story and think, oh, this is the next big thing, and that's what it's the next big loss is what it's going to turn out to be. Very rarely does it turn out to be anything good, and I know better. But anyway, so this one trade here that I made has drained half of my profits for the entire year. That is 19 weeks just about of consistency to just get flushed down the toilet because of that one trade. Other than that, we're kind of typical for a portfolio when you're selling premium. You see days when the market or the sector goes down, like over the last week, the chip sector, which we've got Intel, I've got AMD, and then I've also got Nvidia. I've got three trades on for that, not only that technology sector, but that specific industry, the semiconductors. Normally I won't hold more than 5 positions in a sector, and I definitely shouldn't be holding more than 3 positions, more than one position, maybe be two tops in a industry, and that's something I probably have to add to my requirements because I've definitely felt the pain on the Nvidia fluctuation as well as AMD. I mean, look at AMD. Look at this today. It was at 430, went all the way down to under 390, and then bounced back up to 315. Now today I was really thinking we were going to close this gap when we got that great news from AMD and we rocketed up. The way it broke down here into this gap area, I thought, oh, we're going to close that gap today. This thing is going to go down to 360. But somebody stepped in around 400 and bought this thing right back up. So that was very interesting. So you definitely can see some strength. And I know if we look at, let's just go to the SPY today, maybe probably the NASDAQ. You can see we had weakness in the SPY, but it was slightly bought up. And as far as the QQQ goes, we had weakness, but it reversed and actually went to a green candle. But they both look similar. It's like one actually went above the open as opposed to the SPY, which did not. Very interesting. But we do have weakness. You remember, if you don't remember from last week, I talked about on the QQ on the SPY. Um, we really got to see a pullback, and we're starting to get it. But I was thinking, worst case, we were going to go down to this 730 right here. But worst case, back all the way back to 710. This 5 day stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day stretch, where we topped out on a previous high, and before we broke out to the upside. This 3 to 4 day stretch right here, it might be the next drop. So if we do get any news on Nvidia, what tomorrow when they report, if we don't get some solid numbers, that could be the catalyst to pull this market back to here, or if not, all the way back down to 720, 712. Now, granted, you have to take that with what it is. Nobody knows what the market's going to do. Nobody. No matter what they tell you, we don't know. This thing could rocket up to 800 tomorrow. We don't know. The odds of it happening are, well, we can look at the odds. Surprisingly, you can go look at the odds. What are the odds of it hitting 800 tomorrow? And you go to this little your options market, and they're pretty efficient. You go away to 800. What are the odds? The odds are 0.1. Where's our delta? 0. 0. Not a very good odds. Not very good odds. For it to go to 800. Like you'd see your delta right here. It says very... The odds of us going to 750 is 1. Like 99% no chance. There's like a 1% chance of us going to 750 tomorrow from where we are right now. That's only 20 points. So, but you can kind of get your odds. Like these dotted lines. I don't know if you know much about Tasty, but this denser dotted line is 1 standard deviation, and this more spaced out dotted dash line is 2 standard deviations, and this is where it's currently trading in the money, or its current trading price in the money is, if you had a put, you'd be in the money if it was here, and if you had a call, you'd be in the money over here. That's where the arrows are pointing. But this bar right here is kind of cool. This is the expected move. So based on the volatility right here, the IV X, it thinks it's going to be plus or minus 5, and you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly. So you get this number here, and it just does that calculation for you, which is kind of nice. So, anywho, so we saw AMD being a wild ride. Intel kind of followed with it. You can see Intel. I'm on the SPY still. Let's go back to Intel. Intel, we have pulled back, but we kind of bounced today, which was kind of nice. We almost got down to 100, so we almost closed saw 100, but we're on the daily. We got down to, what is it, the 21 today? This is the 100. This is the 50. The yellow line is the 21 MA. The orange line is the 20 EMA, and this is the 9 EMA. So we saw a little bit of support right there at this level here, which is good. I've got a put on that one. I believe I sold a put. Yes, sold a put. On Intel, I have a naked put on Walmart, and I have a naked put on Clorox company. And the reason I went with naked puts is when I calculated my risk and put on the put credit spread, it really wasn't giving me enough premium, so that was why I went with naked put on a few of these trades to kind of collect more premium. And I went ahead and hit it in the monthly cycle. So you can see we got about 30 days left. We managed around 21, so we're looking for 50%. Right now we're 31 on Clorox. Walmart has been bouncing around pretty good, but we're at 20% on that one. And like I said, we've already talked about Intel. We're still okay on the short. We're 100. We're at 110, and we had a green candle today, so hopefully that one will continue to push higher, and we can get out of the hole on that one. It's really tough when you look at your account. I hate to say this, but really when you're managing an account and you start seeing red all the time, you really think, oh, I'm losing money. But not really, because when you sell premium, you're just trying to collect collect premium, the theta right here, and you're trying to milk it. So it's going to fluctuate, but as long as it stays, it's a calculation, stays above what your short price, and you pick the right short strike that you shorted, if the probabilities are that it's going to not get or may touch there, or is based on that number. I usually shoot for around 22. And you kind of go, I've gone through in the past, and you go through again, what's the probability it's going to get hit now? Well, it's 28. So even though we're down on the Intel position $100, $137, when you go over here, the probabilities is only changed from my 22 to 28. So it's only changed about 6%. 0.06% of the chances. So we've gone from 18, 20. Yeah. What was I about to say? Lost it. We've only 38. So 80. So that would be 80, 78. 78, that's what I was trying to do. So there was a 78, there was only a 22% chance this was going to get touched. And there's a 78% chance it's going to stay out away from it. And now we're down to almost a 70% chance. So we've only lost really around 8% of chance that this is going to close in the money instead of out of the money. So we're okay. We're okay. It just looks worse than it really is. Today we made up $70, so it was worse when it got around 100 today. But we bounced back good. Now NVIDIA, it could completely do complete opposite tomorrow. I think NVIDIA even did some cattywampus stuff today. Yeah, we pulled all the way almost back to our support level of 217. Pushed up. In the last couple of days we've done that. That's interesting to note. Last couple of days we have pushed. Let's go into like the 15-minute. You can see at the open, the last couple of days we've rocketed up like at 8:30, and this was on. And then this day here we did the same thing. Like at the open we rocketed up, and then we just sold off. Like that's a big rocket up there, and the other one was right here. Look at that, man. We shot up and then sold down. So it's been kind of whippy for NVIDIA, and they have earnings, like I said, tomorrow. I may pull that. I didn't sell a naked put in this one. That's kind of crazy right before earnings. But I do have 8 shares, and depending on what the day looks like, I may take those off at least a little bit. Maybe I'll only sell half of it. It depends. Just kind of take some of the risk off the table, because we don't know. I know that I saw on Tasty Trade that the odds of rate hikes went up from 1% to 45%, which is kind of scary. And I know that inflation number, because of what's going on in the Gulf, is a problematic, which is kind of why I have a IWM, a call position, 3 call positions that expire tomorrow. I'm kind of that, maybe ride that volatility where we push down again tomorrow, and I can collect that for a profit. I've got 3 contracts, about 29 a piece, so about $100 total if that closes out of the money for me tomorrow. Oh, Oracle, I'm still wondering what the heck that one's going. We are, what is it, 181, and we're at 155, 30 points out of that one. We still have earnings in June coming up, but I would have thought we'd been out of that. So close. We've been so close a couple times to get our 50% out of that one. We still haven't gotten there, but it's still we're still collecting theta on it. Our extrinsic value is 100, so we still got $100 to milk out of that thing. Oh, until Rhea, that's an eyesore. I am along the queue for about three shares, and it looked good on Friday and Monday, but we kind of pulled back again. And maybe I take that off before NVIDIA earnings too, or maybe I take off NVIDIA and hold the 3, and we just kind of get a bump one way or the other. That might be a least risky proposition, but still kind of have a little bit of the volatility of the earnings for NVIDIA without being majorly affected by having actual shares of NVIDIA. EVU, that is I bought 50 shares of it. That is an ETF that is specifically for semiconductors. So technically I've got 4 semiconductor positions, which is way too many for a industry, and it definitely maxes out my sector risks. So I need to kind of reevaluate that as these positions get closer to at least collecting profit or expiration. And I think Walmart earnings in a day, we got to watch that one, see if we get a push up before earnings. We may get out of that one before the 50%. and we know the wheel is my bank. Palantir is just every time this thing gets about 138, it gets sold off right there. 134, 130. Look at all that. Boom, sold off right there. 135. Get back up there. Boom, sold. Boom, boom, sold. Look at all those topping wicks. Even over here as we were going down, just topping out wicks. So there's a big seller still up in this area. I haven't seen any news reports, but even that first day right there, look at that. Wow, that's a big sell. The opening candle, we went up to 137 and sold that whole thing off. So there's a lot of selling going on in this range from 138 to 135. So there's definitely a seller there that's taking some profits. Oh, let's see. The reason I put also to go over these are your, I think the term was aristocrats. I did a 7-day trial on, was it Samurai, Option Samurai? And if I go ahead and use that one and get a code, I'll put it in the description of future videos. It really simplifies kind of your selection process. A lot of the things I do, I scan with FinViz and then look at the charts. You can actually customize a scan in that to build it out to where it'll only show you the stocks that meet that scan instead of having to go through the charts as much. So I may start using that. It's only I think maybe $20-$30 a month for the works. But I'll maybe do a video. Well, if you'd like me to do a video on analysis on it and whether it's an option you might find interesting, let me know in the comments. Type Samurai or OOS, yeah, OS, and I'll do a video on that for you. And Macy's. This was an interesting one. I bought a naked put in Macy's because this is I've heard a lot in the news about the individuals who are managing the president's money while he's president, and he has got some long shares, a lot of Macy's of all things. I know in ServiceNow is another one. I already closed my position in ServiceNow. I sold a put credit spread, I think last week, and we got up 50% on it. But it looks like we kind of pulled back today or overnight on that one. But yeah, I sold it over here. Ooh, we're on the 10-15 minute. I sold it this morning and we pulled back all day. So that's another one of those that was on the list, and I actually made some money on that. But anyway, like I said, stick with your strategy. Don't go thinking you know what the market's going to do or thinking something else because there's a $400 reason why you shouldn't. That's half of your earnings for the entire year. You're being conservative, you're being slow and steady, and you're following your strategies. You're up $1,200 and basically a third of it's gone on one silly trade. So that would be what I would take away from this video tonight. Is stick with your plan. Stick with your plan. Trade your plan, and then what do you do after that? You trade your plan one more time. Oh, okay. Well, that's it for me. A lot of rambling tonight. A lot to get to. Looking forward to NVIDIA earnings. If I do remove those positions, I'll try to put a short on tomorrow to kind of give you an update if you're interested. And until then, really thanks for coming by. If you have any questions or anything you think I can go over or answer or any trade ideas, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. But until next time, take care now. Bye-bye then.